everybody, and welcome to this video on the parabola. We will be looking at how to find the equation. Now, if you have watched all of the previous videos, you should be very familiar with the three equations that we have here. The first one, y is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c, is the standard form of the parabola. Y is equal to a times x minus x1 times x minus x2 is the root form of the parabola. And y is equal to ax minus b squared plus q is the turning point form of the parabola. Now, highlighted in yellow, pink, and blue respectively is the unknown variables that we need to find the equation in each of the forms. So the general rule of thumb is for each unknown variable, you need at least one bit of information. So a bit of information can be a coordinate given, it can be an asymptote, an x-intercept, it can be any of the properties that you've learned of the parabola. And when we do have that information, then we can use it to solve. So another thing I would like to point out is that which form you solve it in should depend on what you are given. So ideally you choose the form that best suits the information that you are given to find the equation of the parabola. Let us do some examples. So here are two parabolas that we want to get the equation of. Let's have a look at the first one. So looking at the diagram, we are given these two coordinates, and what's special about them is that they are x-intercept. And also what we're given is a y-intercept. So because we're given x-intercept, I immediately want to use the root form. So we have y is equal to x minus x1 times x minus x2. So in this equation, then I'm going to put in what the x-intercept is. So this becomes y is equal to x. Now the first one is minus 1. Remember to change the sign, so that one will become plus 1. And the second one is 3, and we have to change the sign so it will become negative 3. So the trick for the root form is to really remember that we need to change the sign of the actual intercept when we're putting it in the equation. So here now we have this form of the equation, and my question is, how many unknowns do we still have? Looking at this equation, we still don't know what a is, and that is where the next point will come in. So we're going to substitute that point in, which is 0 and minus 2, because it is the y-intercept, into this equation that we are working with. Okay, so what we're going to get is, in the place of y, we're going to put minus 2. We are solving for a, so that's what we would like to find out. In the place of x, we're putting 0, and there's two x's, so we put 0 twice. So can you see we've put in this equation minus 2 in the place of y and 0 in the place of x. Now we have an expression just with a, which we can solve for a. So we have minus 2 is equal to a, 0 plus 1 is 0, negative 3 times 0 is negative 3. And then this here is minus 3a. Dividing both sides by negative 3, we have that a is 2 over 3, positive 2. So our equation is y is equal to 2 over 3, x plus 1 times x minus 3. If you wanted it in standard form, all you have to do is multiply it out. So this 2 over 3, then we're going to multiply those. So it's x times x squared, x times 1, x times negative 3, and negative 3 times 1. So this here is y is equal to 2 over 3, x squared minus 2x minus 3. And then finally, we can distribute that 2 over 3 in. So this is 2 over 3x squared minus 4 over 3x minus 2. And then this here was it in root form. This here is it in standard form. You could even get it in turning point form by completing the square. One thing you should do though is have a little check. So a nice check to do is look at your A value that you get and see, does it correspond to the shape? So our A value is positive and our shape is positive. So that does give us some indication that we haven't made a mistake. So can you see we were given the x-intercept? So the best option for us to use was root form. And then we had one unknown and we had to substitute 1 point and then we got A. And then this last part is just about how to get it from one form to another form if you want. Okay, so let's have a look at this one. In this one here, we're given the turning point and we're given this here is the x and y intercept. So it's one x-intercept and it's a y-intercept and it's through the origin, so it's 0, 0. So because we are given turning point form, the turning point, I'm going to use the turning point form, which is y is equal to a x minus p plus q. Now I'm going to substitute the turning point. So in the place of p, I'm going to put the p, but we remember to change the sign. So if it's positive, it would have been x minus 2 in the equation. And the q value is 5. Again, we're in a similar situation to before, that we still don't know what is a. So what we're going to then do is substitute another point, and the point is 0, 0. So we're going to substitute 0, 0 into that equation. So in the place of y, we have 0, and in the place of x, we have 0. So this is 0 is equal to a times 4 plus 5. So this is 0 is equal to 4a plus 5. Let's solve for that a. So we take the 5 over. So negative 5 is equal to 4a. So a is equal to negative 5 over 4. So that means our equation is y is equal to minus 5 over 4, x minus 2 squared plus 5. Again, if you want to get it in another form, you can just multiply it out. What we need to do is the check. So again, we look at the a value and see, does it correspond to the shape of our diagram? Our a value is negative and our diagram is negative. So that's how we know that we are on the right track. Please, if you have not understood any of the parts, watch our previous videos on the parabola. And if you have, please watch some of our graphs, other videos on other graphs.